Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. So, I thought I would do a question and answer for my nomadic questions. I list down below my personal email address. You're welcome to write me, and you're also welcome to send me mail. I have at this point never received any personal mail through snail mail, but I have received a lot of love Sundays, but I have received a lot of emails, and there are a lot of questions people ask me, so I thought I would pick some of them. The joy of being the creator of this channel, pick and choose, and answer them for you guys. I am videoing on my laptop. You've seen me video on my desktop, on my phone, on my camera, but this is the first time I'll be videoing here on my laptop. And I've gotten lights going. It almost makes it, don't I look like a ghost, dude? I mean, like, really? I look so white. Anyway, without further ado, but I would like to take a moment and thank everybody for watching, first and foremost. And secondly, I would like to thank all my new subscribers. I've gotten like 10 new subscribers in the last week. So I thank my subscribers now for sharing. I don't know how I came upon those subscribers, but I'm very thankful. I would also like to thank one of my subscribers, Kurt. Kurt, thank you so much for supporting my channel. You know, I woke up this morning to that, and I have to say, I sat there in awe. And you are my first, and I had a supporter before. He was my ex, my oldest son's father, and for a long time he financially supported me as much as he possibly could on the road. But you are my true first subscriber supporter, and thank you. It means the world to me. If you want to write me snail mail, that I will list my address down below where you can reach me. If you want to reach me through email, I'm going to list that down below as well. That's where I got a lot of these questions, was through my email. And if you want to support my channel in any way, I'll list that down below. Yeah. You know, I don't want a brand new rig, but I do want a rig that I can travel in. I really miss being out boondocking. But, you know, I also trust in the Lord, and I believe that He will provide one way or the other to get me back where He wants me to be. Amen? Anyway, again, Kurt, I thank you. Peace, baby. Okay, some of the questions that's been asked me about nomadic life. There are a few personal, of course, and then there are a lot of generals. And the first one, I gotta tell you, it's a biggie. Yeah, ready? Granny glasses. Okay. What's my favorite nomadic hack? Now, inside or out, I mean, God, you learn so many hacks, especially according to your rig. And so let's just start with my favorite outside hack. My favorite outside hack is how I get my generator in and out of my RV. Oops. In and out of my RV. My generator weighs 130 pounds. It weighs more than I do. And being a solo female, one of the biggest fears I had was being able to unload and load that generator in and out of my rig. And I guess I used physics. I have an ice chest that I carry with my generator, and when I pull out my generator, I pull out the ice chest first, and I pull the generator out on top of it. It leaves me about 6 inches that I actually have to lift to get it back in. Getting it out, as you would imagine, is a breeze. And getting it back up, I'm not lifting it 4 feet off the ground at 130 pounds. I'm only actually lifting it like 6 inches off the ground. That hack came to me after 30 days Of me trying to, oh God, what I used to do to get that generator back in this rig was amazing. But that's my favorite outside hack right now. One of my other favorite outside hacks is I have a motion detector light that is solar powered. I know, right? I don't have to keep my outside light on, draining my battery. During the day, the sun charges its a little solar panel about this big. And during the day, it's charged by the sun. And then at night, if anything crosses within a certain radius, and I can set it to how far away I want it or how close and the circumference. It's like one of my absolute favorite hacks. The minute something or someone walks within the detection, it comes on and it stays on for a minute, and if it's not activated, then it goes off. And that is my second favorite outside hack. Okay, now inside hacks. I have a ton of them, and you will too. I think my favorite inside hack has to be my battery operated lights. As you all know, my generator is down, my onboard generator. My inverter converter is down, and so when I charge my battery off of my generator during the day, that's got to last me all night long. And that also, my spark on my stove is electric, so that battery has to last me all night long. Well, I have battery operated lights all through my rig, and they're the ones with the little switch on them. And maybe one day I will take my phone around and picture all the hacks that I have going on. But they have little switches on them. I have one above my door. I have one here. I have one in my kitchen. Anywhere that during the nighttime I need a light, I have a light. They're about $3 each if you get them on eBay or Amazon. And they are battery operated. And I do get all of my batteries at the 99-cent store. The light that is actually shining on me, so I don't have a typical Tami dark video inside the rig, is a battery operated light I actually got from the dollar store, and it is bright. Just for $1.99. You can't beat the dollar store, people. Always, always, always look at the dollar store for hacks. One of my next favorite hacks in my RV is I have taken my cab, since I am now work camping for a while, and I have converted it into a closet. I simply took a round wooden board that you buy at Home Depot and measured end to end and put up little closet things, and I hang the bar, and behind this curtain right here, can you see me? Ah! Behind this curtain is my closet. Now when I travel, yes, I have to break down my house. We all do. And those clothes come out and they get laid on this couch. Because that's not the only thing I have to break down. When you move your rig, you have to take everything off the walls, everything off the tables. You just really got to break it down. So those are two of my favorite hacks for the inside. And two of my favorite hacks for the outside. Okay, ready? That is, you see, yeah, that is nicotine gum. No, I am not trying to smoke. I am trying to cut back. I would like to quit. Again, I mentioned in one of my videos, I don't want to be a slave to anything. And I don't want to be a slave to cigarettes either. Just saying. Anyway, onward. Okay. So far, where is my favorite boondocking spot and why? Oh gosh. Oh gosh. You know, each place that I was, it had its own beauty. Had amazing hiking. That's one of the things I'm just terribly missing is my hikes. I have to say my favorite boondocking spot was Cottonwood, Arizona. On Thousand Trails Road is what it's called, off of the 260. They drugged me out of there kicking and screaming. probably has room for, well, one day I counted over 60 rigs there. It's got 3 separate areas. When you come up the road, there's a couple down on the road where you can park and be totally alone. But it's got 3 separate huge round areas, 1, 2, and 3, and 3 is closest to the river, Verde River, which is really close hiking down to the river. I've posted pictures. I loved it there. Oh my God, I loved it there. I met so many incredible people at that place. I have to say that if my dream job would be a camp host, for that place. Town was just 5 miles away. Gosh, propane was 2 miles away. But I was still out in the middle of nowhere. I loved it there. Oh my God, I loved it so much there. So I have to say that Cottonwood, Arizona, so far has been my most favorite place to camp. And again, both times I was there, one time there was over 50 people, and one time there was over 60 people. And I'm not talking people, I'm talking rigs. There was over 50 rigs and over 60 rigs both times. Amazingly beautiful. I'd live there. I would love to live there. Just saying. In my rig, though. Okay. Okay, a personal question. My next question, number 3, is, do I have a boyfriend? No. I've been out of a bad relationship for almost a year. I have just found myself in the last 6 months, and every day I get to find me a little more. I lost a great portion of who I was, and I'm happy to say that, yeah, I am single, but I am also looking. Yeah, I'm looking for that mate of my life. He does have to be a nomad. I don't see myself going back to sticks and bricks. And so, God willing, I will meet my nomadic forever mate, per se, out here. So yeah, single. Very. Okay. Ow! Ask a lady how old she is. Really? Oh my God. I had so much fun with this question. I laughed and snickered to myself the whole time. How old am I? Well, I am 58 currently, and I will be 59 the beginning of March. Now, you shouldn't ask a lady her age, guys. You know, I don't know that it offends me. I've never been offended by age. I really think that age is a blessing. That means I got to wake up another day. And it's wonderful being almost 60. Just saying. I'm a 70s kid. I grew up in the 70s, one of the most wonderful times that you could have been a teenager. And I need not say more. But I am 58, and in just a month and a half, I will be 59, almost 60. So yeah, legally a senior. Go figure. What's the scariest thing I've experienced boondocking? Oh, there's a few. I think the scariest thing I experienced boondocking was at the Grand Canyon. The second to the last night I was there, and what caused me to leave, besides somebody had cut my tire, was there was somebody, and there was only 3 people camping in this general area that I was in. If you've been to the Grand Canyon camping, you know they probably have 50 different campsites with like 50 different campsites within those campsites. So there was somebody running around the woods, I'll say woods, the trees, you know, the boondocks, behind my rig with a flute. And I called him the fluter. And he was playing a particular tune. And I know it was he because I actually caught a glimpse of him at one point outside of my rig. But he would go way off where you could barely hear the flute. And then he would come back toward my rig. that was pretty messed up. He did that all night long until I got pissed off. I did. And I turned on my truck and came out with my gun and my mace and a club. Club in my pants, you know, mace in my one hand and my gun in my other hand. And I said to him, come on, MFer, let's party. And he left. I never heard from him again after 4 a.m. But needless to say, I was up at 6 a.m. I packed my rig and I left by 10 a.m. It's really sad that when you are out boondocking as a solo female, we run into idiots like this. I never advertised this on the internet. I did say stuff about my tire being cut and stuff like that. But the fact is ladies, if you're a female solo out there, have a weapon. I mean, there's bear mace, for God's sakes, that'll knock a bear down. If it will knock a bear down, it will knock an idiot down. So have something on your rig that you can use to protect yourself. And for God's sakes, don't be the victim. That's what they want. They want you afraid, locked up inside your rig, being the victim. Now, I could have easily pulled up out of there that night at any given time, but I wasn't going to do that. And I thought that's what he wanted me to do. Because that day, a bunch of young people had come in way across from me, across the field, I'll say. That gives you, I mean, you can barely see their rig from my rig. And then I had a neighbor who was a pilot at the Grand Canyon Airport sitting almost right next to me. The kid had balls, for one, to even do that with somebody so close to me. But the point is I'm nobody's victim. And neither should you be. And you should take and make sure that you have a weapon. Whatever your weapon of choice is. If you don't believe in carrying a gun or you don't know about it and you want to learn, for God's sakes, go buy a gun and go to a shooting gallery. They will teach you everything you need to know. If you don't want to handle a gun and you're afraid of a gun, it's just not comfortable, go to Walmart or go on eBay or Amazon and buy bear mace. I mean, it's like a big ass can. And if it'll stop a bear, it'll stop some idiot from messing with your rig. And that brings me to another scary night, and I'm going to share this with you. I was by Sedona. It was before I came down to Arizona. And I woke to what sounded like one of my windows being opened. Now, when I'm boondocked, I have behind me, you can't see it, I have a 42-inch flat screen TV sitting on my table, my kitchen table here, and it almost fills that entire window. That window has stuff in it, what's that stuff called? Insulation in it. It has the foil in it. I never open that window. I don't need to. The window is pretty much blocked off. It's blocked off because my TV sits there, and there's no way for me to really enjoy having that window open. And so after I woke up to what I thought was one of my windows being open, I laid there for a minute, and sure enough, I heard it again. And I was furious, because nothing makes me more angry than someone to be smiling in my face during the day and messing with me at night. It pisses me off. You know what I mean? It just pisses me off. So as soon as I knew for sure that somebody was trying to get in my rig, and the side of my rig that he was trying to break into was facing the desert. The front door of my rig, this way, was facing all the other people who were parked around me. There was probably, before that night, there were 10. And 5 people pulled out that day. And I think that's why this person did it. So, this was about 2 in the morning. And I, again, true to form, I come flying out of my rig and headed around the back where the generator was sitting on the ground, chained up, of course. That person had messed with my gas cans. And as I came around the back of my rig, sure enough, that window had been opened like this. And I shouted a few things. I dared him to come up out of the woods. When you're scared and you're a female, adrenaline takes over. So those Oh God! If he would have come out of the woods, I would have shot him. You know what? I've taken concealed and carry. I know you don't pull your gun unless you intend to use it. And I'm going to tell you what, you could break it in my house. I intended to use my gun. And again, I had a knife on my hip. I had a knife. I had a mace, and I had a gun. So, if you are a female solo RVer, and I'm not trying to scare you, just have yourself protected. Just protect yourself. And I hope to God that both of these people who messed with me will never mess with another female, solo female again, because they thought, oh my God, that bitch is crazy. Because here I am, 119 pounds out there going, come on, mother, I'll kick your ass. I was so mad. But anyhow, those are my two scariest moments. And I imagine that every solo female has them. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell you guys dangers are not out there, because they are. Protect yourself. Be smart. Don't let anybody in your rig. If you have people coming to visit you in your campsite, do not let them in. Do not, do not, do not. And nobody came in my rig. Nobody knew there was a table sitting on that a huge TV sitting on that table, or he would not have tried to get in that window. Because the fact is, next to the table, I've got a 3-drawer dresser, you know, to put stuff in. I mean, I don't sit at that table. That's storage and organization area, and entertainment area. My desktop at the time was out there. I mean, just don't let anybody in your rig. If you have people coming to visit you, sit outside and entertain them. Never let anybody in your rig. Never. That's just how I feel about it, ladies. So anyway, and I don't mean to scare anybody, but you know what? I told you I'd be real. And those are just two of them. I've had issues where I'm at, and I'm in a camp worker job. Just saying. Anyhow, okay. What's my fondest memory? I have to say that one of my I have many, 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 many fond memories of being out boondocking. I think one of my favorites was at my favorite place in Cottonwood, and I had met a gentleman who was actually in his 70s, who hiked every morning and every afternoon. He became my hiking buddy for the short time that he was there. He left way too soon, in my opinion, but I was being greedy. I wanted him there to walk with. We would walk down to the river, to the Verde River every night, and I, to this day, am in touch with him. I adore him. He is a Christian man. He's a solo male, and I know that one day our paths will cross again. But I think hiking the Verde and down to the Verde, rock hunting, the conversations, all that's some of my favorite memories. I told you people that when you're out boondocking, you don't meet the people that are on YouTube. You meet real people. And not saying that us on YouTube aren't real. We're very real. But when you're out boondocking, you meeting, this gentleman had been a nomad for over 30 years. I cannot tell you. I had met probably 8 people that had been nomads for over 20 years. They lived that lifestyle before it ever hit YouTube, before it was popular. They lived this lifestyle. Those are the people that will bless you. Those are the people that will teach you stuff. I adore them, and that's one of the things I miss the most, is those people. And not saying that the people that I camp work with are not amazing. They are. I have made a lot of friendships here at this camp working job, and I'm sure that my next camp working job I will as well. But there's something about being in the middle of nowhere with people that you have a connection with. Have the same goals and dreams and ideas as you do. They're nomads. They're antisocial. We're antisocial, really. They don't believe in government. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but my fondest memory is absolutely hiking the Verde River with my friend Lonnie. I miss you, Lonnie. If you watch. I don't think he does. I don't think he gets on the internet. Okay. If I could be anywhere right now, where would I be? That's really a loaded question. Just saying. I truly think that this experience of a work camper has been amazing. Again, it's been rewarding. I've met amazing people. There has got to be, where I am at, and I kid you not, 100 easy camp workers that keep this place going. There's one person on the payroll where I am working, and that is the manager. Everybody else, from office people to pool people to gate people to security, are all camp workers. So this company pays one person, the manager, and she's loaded. She's busy as hell. But everybody else who runs this complex are camp workers. We're of the same blood. We're of the same cloth. We all are here to do a few days a week. Hey, cat, stop that. Yeah, I got a cat. I know, right? After 30 years. We're all here to do a job and run this place. So if I could be anywhere at all, and I pulled a magic ticket out of my hat and everything was all right with my RV, or even not, as long as the front end was fine, because I really learned how to work my way around the other issues in here. If I could be anywhere right now, I think I would like to be in Ehrenberg. I know for a fact that several of the people that I met out boondocking who never even knew about the RTR, and I mean this, I told them, wanted to experience the RTR this year for the first time. These are people who've been nomads for 30 years, and we had all planned to meet down there. Now, they all know that I'm not there, and they know why, but that's, if I could be anywhere right now, it would be with my fellow nomads that I met out boondocking at the RTR. Not necessarily to meet anybody on YouTube. That, you know, that's neither here or there to me. It would be to meet more people like the ones I've met so far. And they're wonderful, awesome people. You guys cannot even imagine. Alright, ready? Do I plan on boondocking again? Oh, absolutely. You know, today, I was looking at my Facebook, Tami's Nomadic RV Life, and I started missing it. I started wishing I was back there again, and thinking that it just stopped too fast, and I didn't have more than a couple months out there. And absolutely, I intend on being back out there. You know, I taught myself everything. I taught myself how to start my generator, how to run my generator, how to break down my house, how to set up my house. I didn't have nobody. I had nobody. I couldn't get nobody on YouTube to help me. I didn't even have no place to go. I had one lady say, "Oh, you could go here." Well, the coordinates she gave me was in the middle of a state park, and there was no boondocking there. Everything that I have learned as a boondocker, I taught myself, and it's only been on self-survival that I learned it. I learned how long I could run my generator. I learned how much money I could spend in gas. I learned on my own, and you will too. You will too. You can have all the mentors you want, but until you have lived it and done it yourself, you will find that you are self-sufficient, because every rig is different. Every nomad is different. There are some things that matter to some. I've got to have my coffee every morning. I bought an old camp pot, and when I don't have electricity to run my coffee maker, I cook my coffee on the stove. Delicious coffee. You learn to be self-sufficient. And I took this lifestyle so I could travel. I love to travel. I love to be in a different spot all the time. I love to wake up to new surroundings, new people, new life. I love exploring trails and hiking and rock hunting. There's so many things I love to do that I busy myself with, and I find that while working this camp working job, I spend more time on the TV. Then I've never really been a TV person. I spend more time on the internet, and as you guys know, I'm barely on here, but still, I spend more time on the internet. I would rather be out hiking. I mean, I have put on 5 pounds since I've been here, and it's because I don't hike anymore. And I miss that. So absolutely, I am depending on God to either bring me another rig, bring me a van, I can live in a van, or fix the front end of this rig for little to nothing. I don't want to be in one spot forever. And that's why I didn't take that beautiful 42-foot fifth wheel. I have nothing to pull that with. And if I got a bug up my ass to leave, regardless if the front end of this thing is worthy or not, I'm leaving. Oh God, just shows you who I am, right? So absolutely, I am a boondocker at heart. I try to live here as if I'm boondocking. Simply because I don't want to have to go back out there and be shocked into having to do everything. No, I don't use my generator here. I'm not allowed to. But I do stuff that I do while I'm out boondocking. So absolutely, I will be back out boondocking. I'm just waiting for God to provide, is all. Yeah, and He will. Whether it's a donation, whether it's something that is an owner carry, make payments on, whatever it is, God will provide that I don't have to sit in one spot and I can be back out boondocking again. Absolutely. You know, absolutely. Okay. Hold on here. I can't hardly read my own writing. I do like, you know what, I am an advocate, because part of that question, I'm going to read the question to you so you get why I'm going further. Do I plan on boondocking more or staying as a camp worker? I have to say, I adore camp working. I'm an advocate. I think that maybe certain times of the year I would absolutely love to be a camp worker. But there are times of the year I would absolutely love to be out boondocking. So what I have to say, and I mean this, is if you make a commitment to any camp working job, keep your commitment, because you'll always be able to go back there. And you can set up your own schedule as to the months you want to work and you don't want to work. I mean, I could have came here and said, no, I'm not staying until April, and they would have kept me until whatever month I was available for them. But if you take a camp worker job, be available and stick to your contract. It's very important that we keep our word so that they don't think that we're flakes. and you're an adult. Get out every day, do your work. You don't need to be supervised. You don't need to be babysat. You know how to work. You've been doing it your whole life. Get out, do your job, and earn your free keep. And yeah, unfortunately, that's what it is. Earning free keep. Okay. How much mail do I receive? Okay. I have never received snail mail. Ever. Nope. I am not like some of these boondockers that get gifts and cards and money and all this stuff through the mail. I have never listed a physical address. I will start doing that now in case somebody wants to send me a card. But I have never received any snail mail. I receive a ton of emails. I will list my personal email address down below. You can find me on Facebook as well. Not only my personal account, but my RV Life account is there. And I don't really use Patreon anymore. It was a waste of my time. The fact is I have to post here on YouTube first before I can post a video on Patreon. Patreon is pretty much a chat place. Now, if you want to chat with me, I can do that. I don't need to pay Patreon. You don't need to pay Patreon to talk to me. That's just how I feel about it, and I will stay strong on that. Yeah, I do have a Patreon account. I can't remember. I think it's been 3 months since I've been there. Just saying. So if you want to contact me, let me know. We can FaceTime or whatever. I have no problem with that. But I will be listing my physical address in case you want to send a letter or card by snail mail. Okay, what is my favorite thing about my work camping job? Okay, my favorite thing about this job, for a nomad, right, is the people. I cannot tell you the amount of people that will come up to me on any given day and thank me for making their day brighter. Now, I work in a security booth at the front of the property, and all I do is simply wave at the residents, come on in, and sign in deliveries and service. That's all I do. For 6 hours. I stand there and wave at people and smile. And I think the favorite part of this job is when they personally come up to me and thank me for smiling and bringing joy into their life. I get gifts up there. I get food. Food. I keep telling these people, quit feeding me. You're making my ass this big. But they feed me. I get fruit, I get sandwiches, I get cheeses, I get pie, I get food. And one thing that older people love to do is feed folks. That could be where my 5 pounds have come from. I get gifts of food for the most part, or candy, or the thank yous are the gifts that mean the most to me. I get roses. I've had 2 women, not men, 2 women come up and give me roses and thank me for making their day brighter. That is my absolute favorite part of being a camp worker. I was a waitress, and a cocktail waitress and a barkeep for probably the first, I don't know, 20 years of my adult life. I'm a people person. I made my money that way, but I wasn't in that profession just because of the money. Yes, the money was amazing, especially in Vegas, but the people, I love to interact with people, and I know I'm a nomad. That's why I said I'd rather camp with campers all around me than be out in the middle of nowhere by myself. Now, I have no problem being alone. I actually like being alone, and I don't always, when I'm out boondocking, come out of my house. A lot of times I stay in, and I don't want to be bothered. Maybe that's why every time I walk out of my house, I get attacked by everybody in the area. If you watch a few of my videos, one time it took me 3 days to post a video because I kept getting interrupted. But instead of being mean and telling them, you know, I'm trying to make a video here, go away, I took the time to spend with these people. Because, you know what, in life I have found that if somebody takes the time to approach you for conversation, they need something. And I am an empath. And being an empath, I want to make sure that when they walk away from that conversation with me, that they feel better about life, and I have maybe put a smile on their face. Now, God help them if they have come up to hit on me or be mean to me, because they'll walk away feeling about this big. But if they approach me with love and kindness in their heart, I am more than happy to return that to them. And people are why I'm at this job. Okay. I think we're done. Oh, nope. One more. Number 11. What is my biggest goal at this time? To be happy. And right now, work camping is making me happy. I told you in my New Year's video that I like to make long-term and short-term goals. And one of my long-term goals, well, not real long, I guess short-term goals, is to either have my rig fixed soon so that I can travel again, or receive another rig. Those are my long-term goals. So I want to thank everybody for the questions. I hope I answered them. I will not use your name, because people asked. Let me get a drink. I'm thirsty here. I will not use your name online if you ask me not to. And every question that I was asked not to use their name. For whatever reason, it's not my business, but I want to thank each and every person who sent in those questions, and I will never mention your name online unless you tell me it's okay. I want to again thank all of my subscribers, not just my new one, all of them. Please continue to watch, like, and subscribe. Share my videos. And I thank you for supporting my channel. If anybody wants to support my channel, the link is below. That's all I can say about that. I hope you all have a blessed day. It's Sunday. It is just coming up on noon. This video was way longer than I had intended, but I hope you have a blessed day. And remember to love yourself, because if you don't love you, nobody's going to love you. You radiate love from within, and they radiate it back. It's an energy that can be felt throughout the world. Bye-bye. Oh, I'm telling you guys.